Let's take a look at another Saurozioc Warriors figure. This is Seph Rasan, who is a Pachycephalosaurus, and I think this is sort of like one of their army building figures. This guy here is a figure I held off getting just because he seemed a little bland in product shots, but I've gotten almost every figure from wave 1 and 2 from this line, so at this point I'm kind of in completionist mode where I feel like I need to get them all. And this guy, now that I have him in front of me, seems to be in step with everything we've gotten for this line thus far, at least in my opinion. The figures that looked amazing ended up being amazing. The figures that looked less than amazing still ended up being more than worthwhile, and I think this guy definitely falls into that category. And I think from wave 2, the only figure I don't have yet is this newer version of Tri-X Skyver with kind of like a war paint deco. But let's get Seph out of the box here. Yep, he is solid, and I mean that in a few different ways. All right, so firstly, he's sort of a slender build as far as the figure goes, but he's well constructed. Nothing feels loose or wonky on him. Let me get all the weapons and everything off. The sculpting, the texturing on him is all really nice. Nothing is over designed on him, which actually can be an issue for me. I like when figures are kind of streamlined and kind of uniform in I don't know, their design. The jaws open on all these figures, some more limited than others just because of the structure of the head and the neck and the torso. He's got a lot of range of motion in his arms. These shoulder pads are attached to the torso armor, and they're softer. They just flip up to get out of the way of the shoulder. The hands are molded as if they're ready to hold any of the accessories that come with him. The shield, he's got a gun, he's got a hammer axe thing that I love, and a sword. And he comes with suitable storage all over him. This is something that Saurozioc Warriors does. I don't know if a lot of other lines do it, but the placement where you can store things, they're not attached sheaths. Everything is sort of like that, like a C shape, like open, so you can clip things in, and they do come off, you know, with a little bit of, they hold in place, not obviously as well as something that would slide all the way in, but they do the trick. The one nitpicky little thing from a design aspect that this guy has is the same thing, almost the same thing that the Brachiosaur has from Saurozioc Warriors, which is, if you're gonna have a blind spot on the construction and the design of a figure, this is where it should be. But where the legs meet the torso is not really it's not a closed junction. It just looks like it's designed as if no one's ever gonna look at it, and that's a really nitpicky little thing that doesn't bother me, but maybe there are people out there are collectors for whom that does bother them. So there you go, an upskirt shot. I love the feet, and I love a little bit of asymmetry with this one shin piece of armor having a knee pad that we do not have on the other side. So a solid figure. And now on to the accessories, which are a strength of this figure. I said this guy was a solid outing, and I said that because of the figure itself and also the accessories. The shield is a chunk of what is supposed to be wood, and they took a lot of care to sculpt the inside as well, and it's like a double or triple layered shield. It's hefty. And there is a lot of storage built into the shield itself. I'm sure if I look at the back of the box or something, it'll show me where everything goes, but just know that you can store some of the other weapons in the shield itself. He does have this pistol. This looks like a pirate pistol. It's cool. A basic but, you know, presentable sword. And my favorite weapon is this hammer that's on a really, really long kind of bow staff. That looks like it could do some damage. So yeah, if I am right in saying that this is meant to be sort of an army building figure for the Saurozioc Warriors line, then I think he's more than sufficient in that aspect. He's not the best figure in the line, but nor should he be. It is kind of fitting that they made a Pachycephalosaurus the army building figure. The bonehead, right? And that is just a quick look at Seph Rasan.